Good evening. The market is closing in 2 minutes. So obviously we have to do the daily scoreboard where we look at what happened today in commodities, in the land of commodities, also Twitter stuff. And that is basically it, more or less. So let's dive in. As always, subscribe, guys, to the Twitter, to the YouTube. And yes, as I mentioned a few times, we have a members section where I post a lot of the individual stocks set up long-term, the weekly stuff, the daily stuff, where we're looking for big momentum plays, breakouts to the upside. I just did a lot of updates or posts on the private Twitter for gold and silver miners. They look fantastic. So if that's something for you, check it out. And with all that intro stuff, we need to get into business. What is important, and that is charting. Silver up 3.38% to be exact. It's a great follow-up from last Friday's price action. So we have basically gone from 22.5 to 24. And 22.5 was a big level, and 24 is also one of the bigger levels. I will say this, though, I could be wrong, but I think we are on the verge of something bigger coming in for silver. Yes, you've heard it before, but that's truly my opinion right now. The reasoning being, we were at the apex, and if you look at gold, I have one line on this chart. I love a one-liner chart, you know that. Gold up 1.5% today. 2020, 22, 23, 23 as well, and now we're finally breaking through. Big weekly candles in the making. Again, I could be wrong, but this, until we start to break down below that, golden trend line there, it is bullish as it gets. I think we are somewhat similar to over here. We are right here. That's where we are in time, in my view. The pattern is so similar. You have that inward head and shoulders there. You have it here as well. I mean, to me, they are very, very, very similar. And if you look back in history, that's also where we are. So you have the same patterns again. And we are going way higher. Last time it went up 100%, roughly 70%. So I think we could be on the road to 3K with a big stop at roughly 2,500, maybe a bit below, a bit above-ish, give or take. But again, I think gold looks absolutely fantastic, incredible. And that's also why you see the gold silver miners doing incredibly well as we speak. So what do we have here? The gold to silver ratio is coming down today with roughly 1.7%. Beautiful, beautiful. It's a fight here between the bulls and the bears. That retest and the bounce was quite strong, but for now we haven't made that higher high right there, and we're coming down. So as I've been saying always for a long time, if we start to climb, back through the wedge, the long-term wedge, game on silver and gold for that matter, and gold and silver miners. It is a bit early, and the precious metals market has gotten more people wrong than right for the past few years, but it looks incredibly well. Gold, excuse me, this is the Dixie flat for today. Nothing major to report, other than the fact, if you go to the 8-hourly, I do think this looks very much like a bear flag, meaning we're probably going down further. We can measure the move. Let's see where we could end up. Boom, there it is. Makes total sense to get that move there to roughly 102.8. Okay, on to the next one here. We have the good old Bitcoin doing incredible stuff as well. The move has been incredible as well, from roughly 20K to now roughly all-time highs. The trend is strong, everything is strong, heavily overbought here on the weekly. Again, overbought, oversold. I think you shouldn't put that much into it, other than I think we are probably closer to a top here than a bottom. I'm not calling for a crash, not yet at least, but I do think if we get above that all-time high, we will probably see some volatility. But up 7% today, what a beast it has been. But again, I think this to me is still the blow off top here for this very controlled, then all of a sudden parabolic. I could be wrong though. I could be very wrong. Oil here down 1.3%. We broke out last week from the inverted head and shoulders, and now we're basically retesting it. Yes, we are a bit below, but again, it's still a retest here. We're still having the highs coming across here. So let's see how it acts here. If this is a false breakout, that's very bad. That's very, very bad here for oil. Also for precious metals, I think. But yeah, let's see here, down 1.5%, give or take. What is nice is the GDX. Again, we have some long-term views here. We are up 4% today, even more. Long-term squeeze coming in here. You can see if we zoom in, that falling wedge right there, boom, blast off. But again, we have this overall blue that we're waiting for to basically break. But definitely the miners are catching a bid right now. And if this is the real move for gold, it will be game on for the miners. Finally, again, a bit too early to say. Still up 3%, bouncing off that green support. We're waiting for a break of that golden rail. Very simple stuff. It is a good start, but again, we have seen it before, so maybe it will all be for nothing. But again, yeah, I think I made my point regarding gold. I'm very bullish. Uranium spot down 0.5%. Nothing much has happened. We will not spend that much time. Uranium miners down 2.3% today. I just did the update on the short-term stuff on the URNM. Check it out. It is on the channel now, I think. The 10-year, 0.8%. I still think it is more bearish than bullish, given the fact that we have breaking down from that formation here. But basically a nothing burger day. But the 30 weekly is coming here. So if we start to come down, the 30 weekly should start to roll over, and then lower rates are in the making. Palladium up 1%. Beautiful. Again, as mentioned many times, I think this is the only bottoming pattern that we have seen for the entire duration of this downtrend. We have a neckline coming in at roughly, well, actually quite precise, $1,000 per ounce palladium. And we are now at 960. So the confirmation comes in at roughly $1,000. There it is. And then I think that will be a major bottom putting in, and then we can hopefully climb higher. Platinum, short-term stuff, I'm looking at this wedge here, up 1 point something today, nothing biggie. But again, massive green candles coming in. Let's see if we can break the long-term view. You've seen it many times before. I still think we need roughly 3 to 6 months to break the big resistances. But then if we do that, then we're off to the races. Copper flat for the day. We will not go into detail on that. Beautiful commodity. So the Twitter stuff. I found some charts for the week during the weekends. And let's see what people have found here. Let's see. Stoic Silver Bear. This is URA divided by the SPX. Basically, you can see we're retesting it. This was posted on Saturday, so during the week, and we should be a bit down here today given the performance of URA, but we're still holding that major retest. And you can see if it holds, bounce off. If it doesn't, we need a bit of a detour, which I also explained in the video on the URNM, the short-term stuff. Trend spider here. While everyone is focused on Bitcoin, gold is quietly working on its all-time highs breakout on its own. Again, this was Friday's or the last week's price action. Fantastic stuff by gold. Very, 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 very bullish chart. I can say I completely agree with the trend spider there on gold. Looks fantastic for now, at least. Stefano here, silver, probably nothing. But in the past, I also saw a positive divergence on the minimum at the end of the third year before a sudden rise. Will it be different this time around? So basically what Stefano is pointing to, you can see the lower lows here and the positive divergence here on the MACD. I think it is MACD. If not, correct me if I'm wrong. Again, we're seeing the same thing here again, low lows, and the positives there. Again, it could be this time around. I think we need a bit more time to confirm, but also with today's price action for the SILJ, I think 5%, 3% up big time anyways. Looks fantastic. And as I have explained many times, excuse me, if this is the real deal for gold, silver will follow, and the miners, of course, will follow. So very exciting moment in time here for precious metals. Silver chartist Steve Penny. We track the gold to Dow ratio on a weekly basis, and it is no surprise to see the ratio bounce in favor of gold, just as the 5-year uptrend line was tested last week. I haven't looked at this ratio in a long time, so thank you for Penny for basically showing me this once again here. Beautiful. Technical analysis, one line chart. I love simple stuff. Yes, we have resistance here and this falling channel as well, but again, we are bouncing, and we are bouncing big today as well. So gold also is, getting some it bounced there on that ratio also. Beautiful. Simon, a guy that I have followed, I think for the past 4 years, definitely follow Simon. I think he's very, very good at what he's doing. Gold had a very important post regarding PMs. I'm not going to detail, but basically what he's pointing to, that this could be the move of that 2,500 run. And again, here with the Bollinger Band, I love Bollinger Bands, by the way. I use Bollinger Band a lot when I'm not posting or making videos. And again, massive weekly breakout here to the upside above the Bollinger Band. And you have his it's this daily. I can't see if it is daily. It should be no, it's daily, excuse me. So we have the daily moving averages well within. This is what I call the power node. So we have the 50, the 100, and the 200. I think more or less within the Bollinger Band, and you have a Bollinger expansion. So if this is the real deal and we start to climb, all these beautiful moving averages will start to climb up here, and you have an amazing uptrend for gold. Also pointing to a lot of indicators here that I will not go into detail. If you want to follow him, you do that. Samantha here. I agree. Bitcoin is just a leveraged NASDAQ 100 play. I completely agree. People are calling it the new currency and all that good stuff, but in overlay of tech, it is a high leverage beta play with regard to tech. For now, at least, that could change down the road. But for now, it tracks the NASDAQ very, very well. But again, Bitcoin has done pretty damn good for the past half a year. To my surprise, I will admit that it has gone way higher than I would have ever expected for this move up, at least. D. Whitney here with EXK, that's Endeavor Silver. The whole PM mining sector collapsed and oversold to a joke of multi-year bottom low. This is a nominal scale, but look at that apex, boom. Again, you see a lot of the silver miners, gold miners right now, excuse me, they're doing fantastic. Again, we're coming off from bottoms, so there's still some short-term, downward pressure, but still we are seeing some big moves, and that is always a good start to something bigger maybe. Simon again here, SilJ, my favorite ETF out there. Yeah. It happens to be silver junior miners, and the sheer hatred here is palpable. Buy and hold. As mentioned, the precious metal sector is hated to the teeth, and people are saying, I will never own gold miners or silver miners again. Fair enough. But once these starts to move, and they will at some point, you will jump back on again. I can assure you that. This is log scale, 1, 2, 3, 4. If we touch for the 5th time here, as Simon says, yep, it is game on. And if you want to, buy low, a bit of a contrarian play here, you can get a better price. I do think we are on to that trajectory as well. Hedgehog here, this is GSRV. I will not pronounce that. I will just butcher the name. Line in the sand. Also one of the silver juniors, or is it a junior miner here that has done very, very bad. I mean, all the miners has done bad, but this one has done, A+ to the downside. But basically, log scale, I think it's nominal, whatever. But we have the trend line here coming down, and we are basically trying to break that. We haven't broken it, but this one needs to break. I think it will, given the fact other miners are doing well. But again, for now, it has been down heavily. So if you are contrarian and you think that gold and silver will finally start, a bigger move, these hated assets here can easily 10x over the next few years, easily. We've seen that before many, many, many times, but only to collapse again, 50, 60, 70%, obviously, but still. I like it here. A one-line chart, beautiful. That's a favorite one. When you have one line defining when you should enter, beautiful. That's it, guys. Have a great Monday. And yeah, hopefully we can get that URNM to bounce a bit tomorrow. It is looking a bit sketchy now also on the short-term stuff. Let's see. You can check out the video. Have a great Monday, guys. Bye.